To order at 5:03. Where's our agenda? We'll review the minutes. Have you had a chance to read the minutes yet, Tom?
Yep, I'm all set one.
I have one issue with it, where it says Mr. Kruger started a discussion regarding life care in the veterinary office and a few other medical facilities, as well as the police station. Police station wasn't in that same, shouldn't be in that same sentence. The police station.
So police department, remove it?
Yeah, but the police station has a box to collect medicine for free. That's how they got mentioned. So other than that change,
yeah, she already made the change that I had. So,
okay, do I hear a motion to
you
accept?
want to hear what she wanted to add in about the police department having
Yeah, just
medical
say,
waste?
So, removing other medical facilities as well as...
No, just remove as well as the police department.
Yeah.
As well as medical facilities as well as police department.
Just remove that as well as the police department.
Okay.
If we want to mention the police department was mentioned in that discussion, only that they had a medical
A drop-off
box in there for you, for people to use.
Okay, so that'll get added.
Okay, and as changed, I'll make a motion to accept.
Seconded. All in favor? Aye. We got to sign the warrants. Thank you.
3 different colors.
They all look like the same color. You're not messing with me, are you?
No, I mean, like they're...
Because, that's kind of mean if you are.
Well, you spent a lot of money on pipes, fittings, and meters, $6.59.
No, I'm pretty sure, what is it? Is it fitting home? No.
So Cater and Howard is done for Sear Street upgrades?
I wouldn't call them out yet, but it's pretty. I think she's supposed to issue the letter this week to say that we can put it to the system, and then I'll ask them, do you have any outstanding bills on it? If so, send them in now so that we can close that project.
Well, they just billed us 100%.
All right, so I didn't see it, so I.
Yeah, the bill is for $36,000
Oh yeah,
total,
they're all
100%.
done. Yeah, we're not going over.
But they are done,
Yeah.
as far as you're concerned.
Yeah, because there's no real reason other than we're waiting on that letter.
All right. Just didn't want to pay them 100%.
Right.
Figure afterwards they had to finish something.
Yeah, no, I don't think they always
I was
have.
going to say you could get a letter too. I mean, with the signature, I can wait for the letter and then submit it.
Yeah.
Where's Lopes fixing roads? Who's that for materials?
T.L. Edwards, maybe?
No, G. Lopes, $1,275 for road repairs.
What's the 16,000 bucks?
No, you know what? It's materials.
Yeah.
What's the electrical there? 16,000.
That is, yep, that's your article.
I
Let me see. I'm sorry, Rick.
16,000, was it electrical? Something?
Oh, all right. That's the PLC upgrades. That's electrical installations, not electrical.
Okay.
I asked them to bill it out so that we can order the parts so we get it in this budget year, and then. I was out a week. I injured my knee, so I wasn't in. I was in, but wasn't in much last week.
The only thing that vacancy was post office. We needed another roll of stamps.
Yeah.
So I added the $55 to the warrant.
Well, that probably put us over the budget. It just sank us.
Rate sheet for residents and businesses. Oh, no, wait a minute. No, that guy isn't here. 700 West Center Street. There's nobody here to discuss that, so we'll take him when he shows up. Rate sheet for residents and businesses?
I didn't ask for it.
I did.
Oh, all right.
I just wanted to see what we're putting together, so when we need to, where the money comes in.
Oh, all right. She didn't. I was out. Truly, I was out.
No, I mean, that was, we talked about it with Kerry before.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Terry was gonna do it.
So, I mean, it's not a rush, it's just something,
Yeah.
like, especially before, if we get to the point of having to do a rate increase, to make
Yeah.
sure it's clear how all of our monies are accounted for.
And I have it.
Aquifer protection bylaw. Did anybody dig that out?
Yes, you did. You have a copy of it. Just by chance, the first file I poked at, I found it. Other than that, I've been going through boxes upon boxes upon boxes. And it's kind of lonely up there now since there's no more squirrels, so.
I got a couple I could bring over if you want.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
We're good.
I watched the hawk
What,
fly
you
in my
looked for this
backyard with one
upstairs?
nice today. What?
Where did you look for this?
I actually found it. I had,
You know where you go. You go down to town hall and ask the town clerk, and it's in the general bylaws.
well, that's what but I looked to see if we had it here, which we did.
But if there's ever been any changes and upgrades, she would definitely have,
Yeah.
any changes or a need to it.
Right beside town clerk.
Yep. And just ask her to see the general bylaw. Okay, they must have got a special permit because it said convalescent
It
home.
had a special permit from the planning board, according to that.
So we have to find out because I know that we put a stipulation in there about the medicine. So we gotta look up those special permits. I think at that time, the veterinary hospital was already there. That was grandfathered
God, that's been there forever.
forever. But we asked them to not dispose of their stuff there, and they agreed to it. And they also did their septic system over at that time, and they put a UV light on it. We asked the nursing home there, that's what we thought it was going to be, like that. And they agreed to the same thing. They wouldn't dispose of medicines there, and they put a UV light in. I don't know if anybody's ever checked the UV light, because at that time, DEP was telling us it wasn't the bacteria, it was more worried about viruses and stuff. We didn't know how long that they would live. So that's why we wanted to have a UV light. I don't know if anybody's ever checked that, so I think we should maybe write a letter. Do you think we ought to write a letter to them first?
Maybe get the special permit, see if it says anything specific about it,
Okay.
and get that from the planning board or from town clerk, so they have the records, and then see if the Board of Health has anything on it.
Make sure they're adhering to the conditions of the
Yeah.
permit.
All right.
And if they have something special titled under DEP, they're supposed to have a maintenance agreement on stuff like any kind of a treatment system like that. So if they got the UV light.
Yeah, because it's already in our aquifer protection bylaw that they had to get a special permit to do it. I remember we talked about it, so.
You have one of these maps that you can see the zones better? We bring it up on the, is it this one right here?
Yeah, this one.
That one, no, that's the groundwater
Right
reference.
there. There it is up there.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one.
And that's 2009.
Yeah, see, they're over in here.
What subzone is that?
That blue is the zone 2 on all.
Yeah,
This is
all zone 2.
That's all zone 2, all the blue.
And what's zone 3? Everything else?
Yeah, the white is what would be,
That's
zone 3 is basically outside of the area. we're concerned.
Everything outside.
Yeah. The zone 1,
How many feet of the well?
400. 400 feet around the well, so each one of these green spots, you draw 400.
That's zone 1.
That's zone 1, you can't do anything in that. And then everything else is considered the aquifer protection zone. So they're definitely in it, they're all in it. So who's gonna, you have time to find out something about that?
I can give it a try.
Or do you want me to do it?
He said he wants to look up the special permits.
Yeah.
Want to look up all special permits for that location, right?
No,
They
just for the
should have a
aquifer protection bylaw, they had to have a special permit. We had to, for them to be there, they had to have a special permit. There's no way that they could have built it without it. So they went through it, and I remember they agreed to do a bunch of stuff. One of them was not dispose of any medicines into the groundwater. They also put the UV light in. And the animal hospital did the exact same thing. But I don't think there was ever any follow-up by anybody.
Okay.
And I think that we really need to look into it. Because people have told me that they're putting a lot of medicine down the toilet, so I think we need to put a stop to that. So do we need to take any kind of vote for me to get more information on that, or do you think we
I
just
think
get
we
the
need a vote,
information? Okay.
just pull the information.
All right.
We'll need a vote whenever we decide what we're gonna do.
So we'll table the discussion on that subject until we get more information on the special permit?
Yeah.
What did we think that issued that? Planning board?
That's, according to that list, that would have been the planning
Planning
board.
board.
Planning.
Town clerk should have that though, right?
One of the, I mean,
Yeah.
Is it,
Well, whoever keeps the records for the planning board should have it too.
yeah.
because the,
But anything like a special permit gets filed
Gets
with the
filed,
town
yeah,
clerk.
with the town,
That's
yeah.
probably the quickest way to find it,
yeah.
would be through the clerk's office.
Okay. So the rate sheet, we gotta get, Terry's gonna get that information, and the aquifer protection, we gotta find out more about that. Job ad, future hire.
That was a lot.
Well, I gave it to you and your comment and then
How many hours a week?
30.
This is-
Sorry, budgeted for 30.
It just seemed to me, going through it, like there was kind of too much all together in one. I don't know, maybe, because where it's not, 30 hours is not daily, right?
No, it's daily.
So you're gonna use them every day, but just for
Yeah,
a
just
certain number of hours?
6 hours a day. If you have to, like.
Are you better off having them 6 hours a day, or are you better off having them like the 4 days, 4 days a week, having them full 8 hours?
32. I could do that too. It's only an extra 2 hours. It's not.
What would work better for you, you think?
7.5 hours or 8 hours for 4 days.
Yeah. We try not to do anything on Friday because everything goes wrong on Friday. So yeah, if we use them 4 days, that's when we generally do cleanup so that we're not opening up anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, you get somebody for 6 hours, you know, it's a really short day. I think you can get more done.
It's not worth it to them
Full day.
either. Better off to let them bang it out in 4 days and have 1 day off.
Yeah.
So is that being changed?
Well, it
Well,
wasn't, it
still,
wasn't really
it's
in
not
there
a
at all.
cast and
That's-
concrete kind of thing. It's not. It's we're working our way towards it, not.
I don't know what we can say, be responsible for all operation and management, the treatment and distribution for the part-time guy that we're hiring to help you.
But eventually they move to,
Yeah, no.
they'll probably move to full time. But you want to cover everything coming in because the kneel, stoop, crawl, heights, everything. You want to cover that up front so that somebody can't say,
If
"Well,
they
you
say
never
they
said
can't,
that."
oh, we want to know it up front if you can't kneel.
Right.
Oh, no, I don't have a problem with all that stuff. I can see why
Right.
that's in there. It's just,
But if you're up and you come upon a water main break, you have to have the knowledge to say, all right, it's a break. Start calling people, notifying people, not stand there and go, it's a break, drive off and go to coffee.
I'm just wondering if you're saying, yeah, we're gonna hire you part-time to go out, and but you're gonna be responsible for, we specifically said, responsible for all data operation and management of the distribution
So I
system.
might have to change it to
Responsible
maybe.
for all day-to-day operation and management of the treatment system.
I mean, if you come in on a
That's
weekend,
that's the top guy.
if you come in and for coverage on a weekend, you are responsible.
yeah.
It's not. But if you hire him in and he goes from 30 hours to 40 hours and he didn't have this, it suddenly, well, I'm not responsible. So it's better off to hit him with everything. It's not like they're gonna be that. I answer my phone. I get calls regularly on weekends, so it's not.
Oh yeah, no, I know it's not like you're trying to dump it. It's just I wonder the way it's worded. Is that going to keep somebody looking at it saying, I don't know if I want to do that for part-time.
It won't stop anybody, trust me.
All right. The database log, the quality of water complaints, wouldn't that be something that they
It is here, but if you happen to, somebody in the field tells you something, you gotta know enough to bring it back.
Right.
It's not, it's just common sense kind of things, but once again,
Like
if you
you say,
don't
you get-
cover it,
Yeah.
like heights, well, we have 3 guys that really don't like heights. I don't mind, so I have no problem climbing up the tanks for the inspection, I like it.
I used to. Then I started dreaming about falling off the top of tanks.
Yeah. Well, you stay hooked on. Never unlatch.
So we have rails on there you can latch on now, right?
Yeah.
Because we didn't before.
The only, there's wires all the way up now, so it's not a problem. The only fun one is the Walnut Street, and I didn't go up that, Andrew did last, because the ladder stops at the top of the rung, so you have
They
to.
don't put an easy up on it.
Yeah, there's nothing. So when I go up this year, we'll figure out something to put up there so that it's just a queasy kind of feeling.
Yeah.
Trying to get back on that ladder. Because going up and out is not a problem. It's coming back down. Trying
But
to.
you're on the inside.
Yeah, but you have to come up and out, so it just comes up and out of the shell. It's just flat surface. There's no rungs to grab onto, there's nothing else up there.
They
just grab
make
flat.
an extension that goes, that I think you mount to the ladder, and when you get to the top, you can pop it up, and it gives you like an extra 2 or 3 foot tall post.
Yeah.
It's not called an easy up, that's those stupid pop-up tents.
Yeah.
I've seen them put on like in all kinds of places. In fact, we put one on at the library roof a few years ago for the hatch that goes up there.
Alright.
And it mounts right to the ladder.
Yeah.
And it pops up, it just gives you something to hold on to.
I bought one for my ladder when I got older.
They're pretty good.
I'll look into that, because the last time I was up there, I just went up for the fun of it, and I didn't pop the hatch, because I wasn't taking my hands off to unlock the lock.
Climbing ladders just for the fun of it. No, I mean, with what you're saying there, I guess it kind of, well, it makes sense. I mean, as long as you haven't thought of other things you need to add in
No, it's,
as far as what you're gonna.
So when you gonna run the ad or whatever?
well,
Post it.
I'll wait, maybe in next month we'll run it, and then try and get caught up, because permit is up, the lead and copper is now running, and we're finishing up the CCR.
Is there anything with the licenses you'd rather have them have to start as just as a kind of a gate?
I mean, if somebody has one, that's fine, but it's not, that's why I try to tell them in the thing that you have to be good with algebraic manipulation,
Yeah.
or else you won't make it. That's 15 questions right off the top, and if you can't do that, your 15 points are out just beginning.
No, then that's good.
You want to start with the top?
Yep.
Okay. Replacement well, anything?
So I haven't heard, there's nothing been on that. I haven't heard anything on the new water source yet. And the altitude valve, well, that kind of died anyways, and I haven't heard back. So we're currently pushing on the water permit. So I need to know if we're gonna accept, they're gonna allow us 870,000 gallons a day. We exceeded it twice in like a 4-year period. Of course, they don't tell you that when you exceed it, then it kicks in a thing.
You have to notify them right away that you exceeded it for the day.
I didn't pay attention that we exceeded it. We need water, I pump it. It's
Yeah, I
not-
know, but you're supposed to just notify them that you did.
So there was something about mitigation, so they've asked, so we'll get into that once we get into the permit. But it kind of worked, they should average it out. You shouldn't be stuck to a per day, maybe a weekly average or something. I understand they're trying to control water
So
usage.
your highest day is not supposed to go over it?
You cannot go over 870,000.
Your highest day.
Yep, on your highest
On a-
day.
on a daily basis.
On a daily basis.
On a daily basis.
So
That's your
every day.
peak.
Every
You
day.
can't pump any more.
You're
than
supposed
that.
to shut off the water after you get to that number, and then you start
so
again.
you can't
after
do
midnight.
400,000 one day, 1,000,000 a couple other days and average out to
No.
No.
800.
No.
So that's the most we're supposed to pump in a day. We went
Yeah.
over that for quite a while, every day.
We can if we
We did.
had to.
Well, when we had
Yeah,
a leak, we
we
were.
had to leave. Well, actually, they said we didn't. We stayed pretty close to it. Because they did reference it. They know we did, but I think it was like on a 1 or a 2 day basis that we did exceed it.
When we didn't have the leak?
Yeah, when we had the leak.
We had the leak, we were pumping over 1,000,000 a day.
I know, but they, for some reason.
Well, you're pumping, but it's going in and out of the tank. Maybe they're netting it out.
So-
Just being nice.
To me, I don't like that number because I'm fixed then. We're in the business, if we can't sell water.
So how do you negotiate it with them?
Well, you have to tell them that you're not gonna accept it, and then they have to reissue the permit. It starts another process, so we need to know that right away.
Have they given you a number already?
Yeah, it's 870,000, that's their cap.
And what were we before?
So let's say we agree to that and then we have a bad day and we go over it.
Then it kicks in something, I have to tell them that we did it, and then there's some
And then
mitigation plan and something else, and
Oh, yeah.
then you gotta mitigate it. So I'm already behind because we did it twice, and they wanna know.
Well, let's see what they say
Well,
this time.
one, we fixed the leak. That's the mitigation.
Yeah.
So, how many, what was our limit before?
I'm trying to get to that. It's not, it's buried in the thing, it's not. I think it was 930,000. But they're saying that we've never reached it, so that's why they're taking it away. And total authorized daily, we were at 1.53.
1.5.
Authorized daily?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why we never reached it.
million and a half?
1.5,
Yeah.
yeah.
And now we're down to 870?
Yep, they're taking us down to 870
They
because
cut
they're
us in
looking,
half.
which I don't like that.
No, so you know what you do is tell them it's not gonna work.
Because if we can't produce, well, currently, no, but they're not using water. Our water usage is below our 2016 level
So you said in the last 4 years, we've gone over it
twice.
twice, over the 1.5 million?
Yeah, it'd be $1.5 million.
Yeah.
We went over the 1.5 million?
Yeah, we can produce, we
That
produce
had to be
almost
when we had
2.1
the
million a day if we turned on
Okay.
everything.
So that must have been when we had the leak that we went over.
One was the leak and then one was in 2016 or.
So we can't supply the town with 800,000.
No, that's
Say,
it's too
how,
low.
if you look back at what the records are, how often we've gone over the 870?
Oh, all the time?
Well,
Yeah.
well, that's all along.
Yeah, but if you're gonna argue with them, you gotta be able to say, look,
Give 'em some
that's
facts.
Yeah,
unrealistic.
because I can say, I can tell you that in,
A couple of years ago, when everybody was using a lot of water, we were pumping 1 million a
right,
day.
our average day in 2018 was 1.1 million.
That was with the leak though.
Right.
Yeah, keep the leak year out of it, we don't wanna.
But even a couple of years before the leak went, we were pumping 1
Then
million.
if you average it, I would prefer it was an average, not, if they average it, then it's okay, because you can meld in the
They're not
lows and the
gonna,
highs.
they're not gonna, so you gotta.
Right. They
But
won't
wait, when
do
everybody
that.
was using all the water before the rate run, weren't we pumping over 1 million?
Yeah, at
In the
times.
summer?
Yeah. So we didn't.
Pretty regular, right?
But
Right.
that's why they want the rates to go up.
Yeah.
That's probably why they want the rates to go
They
up.
want you to drive up the rates. That's
Right.
their idea is they want us to drive up the rates, and they're forcing you to do it by cutting your water, and then they're not taking any of the flack for it.
Yeah, well, tell them we're not gonna accept that.
All right.
Tell them that's ridiculous, that's cut it in
But,
half.
but before you send it,
Yes,
figure out those few years, and say, you know, this is how many days we go over that,
Right.
not including the leap year,
Yeah.
because we don't wanna,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but just to say, look,
And we're not exceeding a daily consumption.
We've never exceeded a daily on any of the wells.
No, I mean daily consumption per capita,
Yeah.
per person.
No, we're always under the.
We're always
65.
under, so
Yeah.
how can
We've always
they
been
cut
under.
us in half
Yeah.
when we're already not even, we're not using, every person in town isn't using what they allow you to use.
Right.
So how can they cut that in half?
So what's that number come out to per capita, that 870, do you know?
That I don't. I didn't.
What would that come out at? And what's,
well, they
what number are we
they
using?
don't care though, because the per capita
I'm
is
just
only average.
curious though.
If,
How many people?
we're like 7,100 or something. It's not.
Alright, so it is just based on general population, not
Yeah.
number of services or anything.
Right.
Right. Population.
So 870,000 you said?
Yeah. There's 122 gallons a person.
120.
President.
Which is almost double what you're supposed to be
Yeah.
adding, which is why. But if we're going over it, when it was long,
But the
and we're
like you
staying
said,
under
65
everything else, we
Right.
should be able to argue.
But the 65 is an average too, and then when you've got winter, when nobody's running a sprinkler system,
No, but they're worried, when they're worried about the peak, is in the, you know, the summer when everybody's using water,
Right.
they're not overstressing.
See, I always argued with them, and I always got it up. I always got it up.
Well, you'd think at least 1 million would be
It
nice.
should be right around there. I don't feel comfortable at the 870, especially coming into a summer. Like this summer is fine because it's raining pretty much.
I would say we
Yeah.
need to be around 1 million too.
But
That's
that'd be too, if you can say what's there, and then
I'll look back
propose
for
a
a while.
number based on what we've done.
Yeah.
And
But we're not stressing the basin.
Pretty much we're the only ones in the basin.
Yeah, we're not stressing it. There's plenty of water there. It's been working for us for years and years and years, so.
yeah, they don't care about that.
I know they don't, but You gotta use a little common sense. So,
That doesn't come into play with.
all right, just tell them no.
Alright.
Hey, you, 700 West Center Street?
That's me.
All right, come on up.
Okay, grab a seat, is that okay?
Right up here.
Stand, sit. Have a seat.
I was gonna say nothing.
I can roll it.
Fred Kruger, Akron Ball, Tommy Snell,
So,
and Wayne.
nice to meet you, gentlemen. So I'm one of the two trustees at 700 West Center Street. And I was just coming in to ask, so in the time that I've been there, almost 10 years, the water bills were like, I think it was a flat rate. Everyone paid $110
Yep.
a month.
Not a month.
Maybe was that a quarter?
Quarter,
I'm
yeah.
sorry. So I just received my first bill now that the meters are working, and I think it was $25. I think we flush the toilet maybe once or twice a day, something like that.
It should, I thought it was 40.
Oh, maybe it's not-
It's 40.
Yeah.
I think it is.
Yeah.
It is.
Sorry to bring it to you.
No, no,
No,
no.
it's 40, you don't have to have run.
Oh,
Yeah, no, we can do that. I'm not too worried about it. I was just
I
kind
am.
of inquiring, I guess. So it was kind of brought to my attention from some people in the building saying, we've been paying like double or whatever for, I know, at least 10 years that I've been there. So now that the meter's fixed, and we're realizing that it's, everybody in the building is pretty much paying double what they were supposed to for at least the last 10 years.
Well-
Probably something like that.
But it isn't. It isn't because there was no meters. We didn't know where the meters were. They disappeared. That's why.
No, they were-
Anybody who has no meter in town, a no meter, we can't find a meter, we just give them a flat fee. It's $100 a quarter. Like a trailer. We can't keep meters in trailers because they freeze up. So there's no meter. So we just charge them $100 per quarter. It's $400 a year. So that unit that you're in, that was the first condominium that was ever built. And I asked originally that be piped so that everybody had a meter on the wall, and that pipe ran to their unit. And they didn't want to spend the money, okay? So what they did is they plumbed it just like a regular house. And then as they piped them in, they said, okay, well, if we have to meter them, we're going to cut a meter in the ceiling right here for that unit. And then we're going to cut that unit there, we're going to cut that one in the ceiling. Then they went and they put drop ceiling in there, and then all the meters disappeared. We had nowhere to read them, we couldn't find them, so we just went with it. And it's not up to us, to the water department, to keep track of the meters. It's up to the building owner to keep track of the meters. So if you lose the meter in your construction and you board it over and put it in a wall, and we can't find it, we can't read it,
So
It's not our
I know
responsibility.
that they're all accessible. They're in the basement. They're all in the basements.
yeah,
I
no,
know.
no, they're not accessible because most houses, where it comes through the foundation is right where the meter goes.
It might not be.
And there should have been like 30 of them lined up.
Should.
Should have.
Sure.
And that's not our problem. That's not our problem. That's a contractor's problem who built the building. And he talked he was going to do it his way, and he said that he could solve the whole problem because we were going to be able to find the meters and we're going to be able to, get to
I know
them.
they're not in walls and stuff. They're in basements, and they're probably not convenient.
So for 14 years I've been here, and Myra actually helped us a lot, but in the past we've gone in and we get as far as one building and you can't get in the next, you can't get in the next. It's not that we haven't, for 14 years I've tried, and we just couldn't get in.
I've been doing this for
Nobody
almost
would help
40
us.
years. I was here when they built that building. I've been here for 40 years. And it was a problem when we built it, and I wasn't a water commissioner at the time, I was the superintendent, and I told the commissioners at the time, if you let them do it, it's gonna be an issue. You wait, it's gonna be a problem. And sure enough, look at
So I've been there 10 years.
Yeah.
I'm in unit number 1. There's at least, I think, 4 meters in my basement.
Yeah, I know.
But we're still not reading all the units, we're losing money. We're losing money. There's about 4 units in there that are completely missing. They're not even we can't find meters, we don't know where they got the water from. They're getting water, but we don't know where they got it from.
Currently, there's still 2 that owe us plumbing so that we can install meters.
2 of them need meters.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, it's 10 years. No one's tried. I'm at 95 every day for 10 years.
Because you didn't sell your unit. The only time that we
It's
did
not up to
something,
us.
we did try.
It's only, you have to hire a plumber and put the spacer in and make the space for the meter. All we do is bring the meter in and put it in where the
I'm
plumbers.
saying there have been meters there for the 10 years I've been there. Absolutely without.
Yeah, but we couldn't find them, and we're not going to go to your ceilings down looking for meters trying to get readings.
Yes.
That's just not
A
going to
single
happen.
phone call, a single knock on the door. In 10 years, I've never seen.
When-
Not
when-
trying, not ripping down walls, not none of this. And I don't want to. It sounds like just.
When we-
Incredibly
then
offensive. I'm just trying to find resolve here.
Right.
But it sounds like, like we've got. We've
I
got a laundry list of reasons why it's not our fault. See you later.
I can't guarantee that we're actually metering everything that goes into that building either, because it's like spaghetti. It should have been one main pipe going straight through the building, both sides wrapping around it, with offshoots coming off,
Yeah,
and that's not what happened. There is a pipe, but then it just goes up into walls and stuff like that. It's
So
not
it should have been
right.
right. So
It's not your fault. It's not our fault, but it was done wrong.
correct. But I've been getting billed from the water department for I don't know how many years. I've been there for 10 years. I bought my unit. I don't know.
And you got the right
7 or
bill.
8 years ago, and I was just getting a bill. I didn't know. My meter wasn't working. Everything goes to the association, or everything gets paid. And I'm just speaking for myself, but I know that I'm here because other people have inquired as well. That's what I'm getting right now, just like this. But so
That's it.
there was no. To say in the 10 years I've been there that you guys have tried doesn't seem fair.
We tried for 40 years. 40 years to get that straightened out. And it wasn't until, Myra?
Yeah.
Showed up, sat down in the chair where you are,
Yeah.
and said, we need to get this thing straightened out because we have so much water pouring out the back of the building. We don't know where the water's coming from, we have no handle on how much water our septic system is flooding over. We got to figure it out. We said, we don't even know where the meters are. So she went in there and she found the meters. And then she got our crew in there with her and they started piping in, they started putting meters in. She got a plumber in there and installed the spaces and stuff where they needed to be. She had to change plumbing around. Not our job. It's not our job. It's the owner's job of the building.
Sure. But the meters were all there. They were in our
Okay, yeah.
Some of them were in our
Yeah, they were there.
To say to me,
I can show you houses.
40 years we've been trying to get in there. And
I can show you houses in town where they have a meter in the cellar and then they build a wall over it. And they say to us, yeah, the contractor built a wall right there and the meter's behind the wall. So, well,
That's completely irrelevant to what
it's the same thing as you got.
It's not, because all of us are accessible.
No, they weren't. No, they
So
weren't.
They're not convenient by any means. I give you the benefit of the doubt.
Well, they're supposed to be
no
convenient.
No one's called me, no one's knocked on my door.
It's part of the general regulations of the water department. They're supposed to be convenient. They're not even supposed to have like Christmas decorations around them or anything. We're supposed to be able to walk right up to them and get to them.
But no one's ever contacted us, ever. In 10 years. Now you say 40 years.
I did it for 40 years. I did it for 40
Did you
years.
stop 10 years ago, or? You say you're doing it for, I'm telling you, for 10 years that I've been there.
We don't go-
Unit number one, I've never got a single call or knock on the door.
Okay, when I used to go up there and knock on the doors and the people used to say, I don't know. I don't know where my meter is. I don't know. I'm on the second floor. I don't know where the meter is. I don't know. Find out, who's in charge of the building. Maybe they know. I just bought the place.
On more than one occasion, we did try, but you'd meet with the next building, the person wasn't there, and then you'd follow the pipe, would go through the wall, and that would be the end of it. So then,
I'm in unit number one, which is the
Right.
main unit, and that's where I know at least 4 are,
yep,
including the common one.
right.
No one ever knocked on my door.
Right, but we're not gonna,
How many are
if
in
it's
it? How many are
ceiling
supposed to
over,
be?
we're
How many
not gonna
units you
stop
got
poking ceiling tiles looking for things.
There's 12 units, and then there's supposed to be 4 outside ones too. There's supposed to be, I think there's 4 or is there 8?
They are, it's all documented now, we went through.
Yeah,
Chase
so
it.
everything's good. I guess it's good, with the exception of, I think, 2 more
Two,
need to be
right.
corrected.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I mean, we're arguing about, all the years of 40 years ago, history and people who
Right.
built
We-
walls and
it's-
everything out like that.
it won't happen
I'm
again
just
because
saying-
we've documented where they all are now and what units they are. and-
Sure. But I'm saying, so, back when this happened.
Okay, so now you're saving money. Now you have your meters like you're supposed to have, now you're saving money. You're all set.
Okay, so when the meters, there are meters there.
Yep.
They were there. When they stopped working, who said, it's gonna be $100 a month now, when it's only ever been
No.
40 or whatever it was?
No, it wasn't because they stopped working. It was because we didn't know where they were. Anybody who doesn't have a meter, it's $100 a quarter. That's in our water rate.
There are meters there. There have been meters there. They were inoperable for whatever reason.
Yeah, they stopped
Maybe unacceptable.
because they've been lost for so long. They've been built over. They're gone.
Did you have?
So what are you?
built
So
over?
so what are you looking for?
They've got ceilinged in, so they're not visible to the naked eye. We should be able to walk in and see it. Like when we go to a house, we know where it is because it comes up out of the floor.
Yeah, so
But in
nothing-
your case,
You
it's
open
not.
the door,
They
open
got
the
ceilinged
closet.
in, and then you have to start poking through ceiling tiles, which sometimes
Well,
when we
we
were
don't
going in,
poke
and
through
then we
ceiling
break a
tiles.
ceiling tile, and so
There's
we
no
just
way.
walk away.
That's
Some of
not.
them are actually in, like I know mine are like in the ceiling. There's no ceiling tiles. There's
Right.
a room that
In yours, but in a lot of the other units, they are ceiling
They're not
tiles.
supposed to. Meters aren't supposed to be in the ceiling. That isn't a place for a meter.
Sure enough, I'm saying at some point
They're not supposed to be in the ceiling.
I heard.
It's completely.
I agree. So,
It doesn't meet American Water Works standards for a water meter.
I know nothing about.
So that okay. So that just is
I'm
just
saying it's up. So there are meters there now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's roughly $40 a month now.
Yeah.
Let's say, and I think that's minimum, right? Because we're flushing 1 or 2 toilets or something like
Right,
that.
as long as everybody
Right?
keeps an eye, because the toilet can go rogue, and it will cause
Okay.
a lot
And that
of-
water that we found, that's actually drainage.
Yeah.
It's water drainage that's going into our septic. It wasn't water just running.
Yeah.
We found that out, right? So what I'm saying is, if it's $40 a month now, the basic, right? 10 years, 20 years ago, it doesn't matter. It was certainly less than 40 back then, right? So if there are meters in the building, it's safe to assume that they worked at least at one point when they were installed or something, right? Is that feasible or reasonable enough to say that they worked
They
at
all
some
work.
point?
They
and
all work. They're all brand new when we put them in.
Fair enough. I'm
Worked
saying it was
100%.
less than 40 then. 10 years ago, 20, whatever.
Yeah.
Someone, when they stopped working, said, it's not going to reach $100 a month. Someone said that at some point.
No.
It went from a paying account to $100 a month account. At some point, all right? At least
Wait a
10
minute.
years ago.
We didn't do it just to your building. We said any non-metered residence or business doesn't have a meter, okay, has a basic, just $100 fee. So it was mostly trailers. It was mostly trailers that were hit with it because we couldn't keep meters in them. They kept freezing up. So your place just happened to fall in that category. We couldn't find the meters, but nobody complained. At that point, nobody went looking for the meters. You got the $100 bills, and they just paid them. And when they called, we told them, you don't have a meter. It's a non-meter charge.
When you called.
When they called, they knew. People called, they asked us, and we told them. They didn't go look for their meter. We're not going to go look for the meter. We're not going to go tear down your ceilings. We're not going to go look for the meter. That's your job. That's the people who own the building. That's your job to make sure that the meter's in the right place. We'll supply you with the meter. We own the meter. We'll supply you with the meter, but that's it.
Truly, the building should have had one master meter coming in, and that was it.
No, see, that doesn't work either, because they're condos, when they sell,
Right.
there's no way to bill
Because they're.
them. When they're reading, you can't get a meter reading, and then bill the person, and then the other people are saying, you know, his toilet used to run all the time, and I'm paying for his water, you know.
Should have been a nice manifold.
Yes.
All the meters,
That's what I
and a
want.
home run to each unit.
Yes,
Well,
exactly, Tom.
I agree, we all agree with that, what should have happened. Many
Listen,
years
what
ago.
happened, I mean, at least it got straightened out here,
Yeah.
you know.
But I'm saying, is there
Straighten
any
up.
consolation to these people who've been, it just, you know, again, I'm sent here as a representative. I'm curious myself, all right, so if I convey any kind of enthusiasm, because I'm like, wait a second, you know, who made the decision to go from, you know,
Typically, it
Yeah,
happens
go
when the meter
from-
stops
go from-
communicating, because we have to build something.
Well, were those meters
And then-
ever
They
actually
weren't-
automatically read?
No, they never got changed over to phone meters.
Yeah, they
Oh, they
couldn't
were
find
phone
them.
meters?
No.
Outside readers?
Yep,
They're outside reasons. That's how far back they went.
Oh, so they stopped a long time ago.
Yep.
So they missed 2 iterations of meters.
yeah.
We couldn't even find it, Tommy.
Right.
We didn't know where they were.
So I guess it became a problem, obviously before my time, but
And if it wasn't
If you
for
see
Myra,
from a
yeah, we would have
consumer
done it.
perspective, from a resident, business, whoever, right? A meter stops working. It's in, by the sounds of it, from what you're telling me, from what I understand right now, it's in your best interest to be like,
I think there's
let's
something in
not,
our
let's not
bylaws.
pursue that because
It's
we're
up to
we're gonna make more than double by just doing the flat rate 100.
No,
Well,
no, what
that's
happens,
exactly
what usually happens in a home, if they don't let us in, and that meter is sitting there and it's running, and they don't let us read it, and we don't, when they finally let us in, or they move, and we read that meter, they owe us all the money that's on the meter. Everything that's on that meter, they owe us for, before they move, at the closing, they pay us for it. That's the way it works.
So are you saying that they don't pay during that
No,
time?
I'm not saying that. I'm
No,
saying-
I don't know what you're saying.
Well, they're not getting it, what happens is,
They're not
in a
getting
residential case,
That's correct.
they end up getting an estimated bill or a basic charge with no excess.
Okay. Now,
Okay, and what happens is their bill goes from 200 down to 100.
Okay, but would it ever go from 100 to 200?
No.
Why not?
I'm just explaining the residential case.
But I'm saying-
So what happens is the meter analog keeps reading. So when we get them to change the meter,
Sure.
we end up charging them for the excess that they didn't get billed for. They think
They think the same
they're
about it.
winning because their water bill went down.
Correct.
But in your case, it went up because we couldn't read the meter. You end up getting a basic charge.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So let's just
But-
reverse scenario. When you guys when they go to sell, you say, this is what you really owe us. We want all that money back.
But here's the thing.
If you had that meter in the house and it was less, would you give the money back?
Yes.
Well, you won't.
We make an adjustment.
You use
We
less
make an
than
adjustment.
excess.
That's all I'm saying. Is that we know for a fact that we've been paying more than double for at
No.
a minimum 10 years.
No,
only-
that's your basic charge.
Basic
$100, basic charge. There is no reading. There
That's
is no
a certain amount of
reading.
loan.
You don't have a reading.
So isn't that in the best interest of the water department to not fix meters in this situation? From my
I know
point
what
of
you're
view,
trying to say.
from my point of view, you say you've tried
Yes,
for
it-
40 years. For 10 years, no one has
Yes,
ever walked
it was in
around
our best
and
interest to
that's-
charge you $100.
It's in your best interest.
And what we were trying to do is make you guys straighten your mess out that you had up there so we could actually find our meters and get to our meters and put the meters in. That's what we were trying to do. We didn't want to charge $100, but we weren't gonna. We're not gonna go into. We're not gonna go into a private building and start taking it apart.
So you don't want to charge $100. You'd
No,
rather.
we'd much rather put a meter just like we did now.
You'd rather meter. So then, how come in 10 years I never heard from a single person?
I have no idea because
That's what I'm-
I have
that's
no
what
I
I'm-
know
idea.
you keep saying you're unit 1, but we don't know unit 1 from unit 2 from unit
How many-
15 up there.
How many times
So
have
the
how many times have you
you
knocked
go up
on
there
doors
for
up
final
there?
reads, you'd go in, you'd see a suspended ceiling, and you'd poke a few tiles, but then you give up because it's going from one room to the next. You try to chase a
You
path,
don't know.
don't even
You
if
find a
it's
meter, you don't
right.
know whose meter it is. How do you know?
And then I couldn't prove that I had that unit's thing because you could shut it off and it didn't shut off the water where I'm standing. It
How
didn't
do you,
make
how do
any
you know
sense.
who's up there now, Wayne? Are they let, you got
We don't
tagged?
because we didn't physically start shutting everybody down to
They labeled
figure
out.
out.
They got
They
tagged.
are, we pretty much, Myra and I guess you, they went through to try to figure it out.
So they are
So
tagged.
Well labeled.
we've
So
documented
you
where
know when you
everything
change the
is.
meter, this is unit 3 or 4?
Yeah.
So you don't know for 100%.
I don't know for
You don't know
sure.
for
Shut
100%
everybody
where the
down
water's
and then
going.
test everybody's unit. I don't know for sure.
That's what needs to be done. If they really want to straighten it out, you should shut that building down, turn them on one at a time.
One at a time, exactly. But that's not up to the water department, that's up to you guys. That's not
But
nothing to do
I think
with
it's
us.
all resolved now. We know exactly.
We know where they are.
Because that's
Well,
exactly what we did.
we have our best guess
we
scenario
we
that
shut off the
that's
valve, had a meter, and said, okay, the water's not
Who
working.
doesn't have water?
Yeah, who doesn't have water, this one's not working. They were all labeled to begin with, but we just confirmed it all when we went through and changed all the meters that everything is the way it is supposed to be. But I'm just saying is, in all,
I think it's in our bylaws too, that if a meter stops working, the customer's supposed to contact us.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Yeah.
It's not our responsibility. It's in a private residence. We have no legal right to go into your house or into your building and start working on the meter without you letting us in. So it's up to the person. When you get a bill and you look at the bill, you read the numbers you're supposed to get out, and make sure that the numbers are right, because we're usually reading electronically, and you got to make sure that if it says 694,000, you gotta make sure it says 694,000 on the meter. If you never look at it, you just keep paying the bill, and someday the numbers don't jive, well, they make the adjustment when you move. That's the way it works.
you make the adjustment only in your favor, is what you're saying. That's what I'm understanding. I have to go back and
When
present
you're-
what I'm hearing. And
No, what you got was a basic charge. You got a bill that is for a no meter installation. And that is a legal thing. We charge, if you don't have a meter, it's in our rates. It's a no meter charge.
So
It's $100 a quart.
So it's in your interest to never.
But
say-
now you got meters and we know where they are, you're all set. So you got a rate reduction.
Didn't get a rate reduction.
Sure you did.
We're paying actual now. We were paying
Okay.
double before.
No, you're paying $40 basic charge, and then you're paying on top of that if you use excess.
But we don't.
But you don't use excess. Yeah,
We get a reduction.
so your basic went down from $100 to $40. And that's because,
So I went from
If
an overcharge to a bit to the.
no, not an overcharge. No, it's not an overcharge. That's our fee. No meter, it's $100.
See, if we can't get in, we terminate a service. That
Can't
gets
get
us
in?
in, but I can't terminate that building service because I terminate everybody.
How could we, how could we terminate just one person in that building if they didn't pay?
So what did you do?
We're gonna shut off the whole building, is that what we're gonna do?
It would have said, oh crap, we gotta fix this. But it would behoove you guys to collect $100 from each of us for who knows how many years. more
That's
than
right.
10 years.
It did.
Yeah. So you haven't tried to get in there for 40, 50 years.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. We did multiple times over the 40 years I've been
We
here.
obviously didn't hit your unit, but I've been around that place.
I did. I banged on doors up there, and everybody just, I don't know. I just work here. Well,
The thing that I'm trying to wrap my head around is the conflicting viewpoint, which I'm saying, which I don't understand.
conflicting viewpoint.
Why the two orders? You know, I'm hearing on one hand that you're saying to me is you really wanted to fix this and resolve this, and for 40 years you've been trying.
Yep. Until Myra showed
But on
up,
the other hand,
and she said,
$100. Yeah, we don't. You know, that's in your interest to fix it. We're just going to collect that $100 fee, knowing
yeah.
that the bill is probably less. You can't have both.
No, we didn't know the bill was
Really wanted
less.
to
How did we know the bill was less? We thought we were on the hook for a lot more money because your septic system was running over, and we thought you guys had all kinds of leaks up there. Toilets were running. That's what we thought. We thought we were losing our shirt up there.
So if that's what you thought, how come I, in unit number 1, never met anyone in 10 years?
Because you
That's
didn't
what
try
I'm saying.
to.
So how can you tell me that you really
I don't
wanted
know.
this?
I have no idea why you never met anybody. I have no idea. But I know that our crew's been up there many, many times over the 40 years that I've been here. Many, many times. I started out when Everett Estabrook built the place, trying to get that thing plumbed up right, and we weren't able to. So you'll have to go back and talk to the old commissioners and talk to them. None of them are here, so most of them are dead. So they're the ones who allowed it to happen.
Okay. So you're here now.
Yeah.
You're the commissioner, I suspect.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you agree that we probably have been paying substantially more?
No,
We
you've
can
been paying the right amount.
Truly, we want to meter every account.
You've been paying a flat rate of $100 for a no meter. That's it. You've been paying the right amount.
And that's in your best interest, admittedly, correct?
Yeah, we represent the people in town.
We don't want to resolve that because that's your interest.
So what are you looking for? What are you looking for?
I'm wondering if I can go back with any kind of consolation to the tenants and say, hey, listen, as a result, the water commissioner said that he's gonna supply us free water for this amount of time.
No.
No, absolutely not.
I wasn't here when any of that's involved. I've been staying nice and quiet through all this. You're not going back and telling them they can get free water for so many months. The fact is, there's a basic rate for a metered service. You pay a basic rate, then you pay your usage on top. There's a rate for an unmetered service because we don't know how much water goes down that pipe and what's going out. It's a risk either way. As long as those are operating as unmetered services, you paid that rate. And if it got done, I have no idea why it took as long as it did. When I first started on the commission, it was when Myra came, one of the first meetings, and was talking about all the stuff they were trying to do to fix it, how difficult it was to be able to get to any of them, which means if the meter stops working, they can't go and just get a manual reading. I remember her talking about ones that were up, you couldn't read the face of the meter because the face of the meter was up at the joist, up against the ceiling. So you can't do it. Because of that, that was what the bill was. And as soon as we could get the meters working, we billed you the basic rate plus whatever your usage is. Mm-hmm. We can't go back retroactively and say, oh, well,
You installed
we're going to
meters.
give some.
If Myra hadn't got on it, and I was kind of a proponent of getting this thing straightened out, but if Myra hadn't got on it, you'd still be paying $100.
Absolutely.
So she could have said, somebody could have dropped the ball, I'm not going to sit there and get this straightened out, and you'd still be paying $100. So it took a little effort on both parts, on your operation and our operation to get together and get this thing straightened out. And we were all willing to do it. We needed some organization up there to get us in these units and trace it down.
And it's not completely in our best interest to do what you say, to charge the 100, because when we file our reports with the state, we have to account for the unaccounted for water. Unmetered services work against us because we don't know how much water is going in. We know how much we pumped. We know how many gallons we sold from all the metered services. But you're making it sound like we'd just like to charge $100 to everybody, and it doesn't. It doesn't work. See, that doesn't necessarily work in our favor because it can cause us problems with where our water is going when we have to report it to the state.
I don't know anything about water power. I don't know anything about these.
Well, and to be fair, I don't know anything about your situation really, other than what I've seen in the year I've been on the board.
Okay.
So all the history stuff I know nothing of, but it's not like they're trying to keep that going for the amount of money with the extra it may or may not bring in, because it's got the potential to cause a bunch more problems down the road for us on other sides. We really do need to. They want everything metered. We meter the town buildings, for crying out loud. Because they want it.
That's the case.
It wasn't an intentional thing to try to suck more money out. It's because you can't meter it. You've got to have some bit higher fee than just the regular basic rate, or there's nobody.
I appreciate everything you
Right?
said, and that makes sense. But, and I'm not going to sit here and try to debate, try and get more money. So I hear what you're saying. Like, it is what it is. But I'll be hard pressed. if you're gonna convince me that that's what you guys really want, because I never saw anyone in 10 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And I just don't understand why that is. Why, how come no one ever knocked on my door or called me?
They must have shut off my water, I mean, huh?
Or something.
I have been in that building more than once.
I mean, notice the notices we send to residents,
Oh, yeah.
For what?
when the meters stop reading.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have got one because they're a no meter account.
But they were metered originally.
The original.
Right, they're on.
No, they got,
Yeah, so they don't
got the
work
notice.
with the system.
Things are different now, I mean, whatever happened in the past happened, I'd just be happy as a tenant that finally, there was a joint effort to get the thing straightened out, and it got straightened out.
Yep.
You know, I can't,
Finally, it got straightened out, and it did. Everybody should be thanking Myra for sitting down and,
Well, and apparently you, because you apparently were involved in that too.
I don't know who else was involved, but I know she came down here, and she was down here a couple times. She had a couple of our
Yeah,
meetings.
she's awesome. She's great. She's
So,
all off that.
she got it put together, and she did a good job. So, we got a couple meters, I guess, that are still out there that, we got a couple meters that are using water, but we're not
so
getting
what are we
paid
doing
for.
now?
I don't think we can find them, right?
No, we know they are.
Oh,
So
you
what's the
do?
situation there, we have those units, and they're getting billed, bait?
So they have to, I can't answer that because I don't do the billing side of it, but I would suspect that they're still on the
$100.
$100.
Right.
And
So let's
because,
get that straightened out. What do we
because they
got?
haven't got a meter in there.
They need the fittings, there's no fittings to do
And
it.
this is what we used to run into up there. It's
Okay.
not mine, we don't, you know, so now here we go.
I'm playing devil's
Just what
advocate.
you just said, though.
Yeah.
So now we still
You're
got two
doing what
units.
you should be doing.
So we still got 2 units paying the high credit. And what's your attitude? Not
Not
mine.
my attitude of playing devil's advocate. That's me saying,
But-
what do you got? How you get exactly what I just did, right?
No, I know what you're saying.
But this is what we run into.
Yeah.
And this is like- I'm just saying, let's get it straightened out.
Yeah, exactly. Listen, how do you get it straightened out?
So somebody has to go in there, put the fitting in to those 2 units, call us up and say, you can put your meter up, we'll put the meter up, their rate will go down.
So let's get this straight. You know which 2 they are?
Minor test, we have them all labeled out.
So what are we waiting for? Why is it taking so long to get these 2 straightened out?
I don't know, I'll talk to Minor about it tomorrow.
I'm serious, let's get it done.
Yeah, let's just get it done.
I mean,
Doesn't make sense.
so we still have 2 units up there paying the
Yes.
So let's get it fixed.
Yeah, I'll talk to him tomorrow. I think it might be just a plumbing issue.
whatever. Can the association get a plumber in there and straighten it out? Or does it have to be the unit owner or?
I'm sure we can do something. I mean, we're not too.
Right, let's get it, so we can get it off our plate.
Right.
Yeah, so we can get it done. So those people aren't coming down here later
What
on,
was the
sitting
issue
down and
with
say,
Wayne?
They don't have the fittings to attach the meter, they need the,
But isn't there a meter there now?
no. I don't know what's there because I wasn't in that day when they went in.
probably, Tommy, there's a meter somewhere in the system. They probably need to cut one in a new place because the
They
meters
can't
are
find
probably
it? Does
so
that sound
buried,
fair?
they can't get to it.
No, I think it's probably. I think it's probably just the plumbing. It's something's not connected right, or there's a bypass, or some weird thing, or it's in a little.
I think in one case it's a
All right,
shut
you're in
off.
charge,
Shut
figure
off.
this out, and we'll get it straightened out, and we'll come up and put the meter in.
Well, I know it's being taken care of.
But how long, when did we put the last
That,
meter?
that's more than a month now. Actually, we've billed out, so it's maybe 2 months.
Yeah, something like that.
And then it becomes years, and it becomes, that's how it happens.
I don't know.
Time
And this is what
flies.
happens, right, and then these people are gonna come in a year later, how come we've been paying high rate and nobody else is?
Nobody else was.
This is what a boy, I hate to say it, I wasn't involved in it way back, but I can see what happened.
Yeah, and look, I have no problem going back and saying, hey, listen, this is the way it is.
And so how?
We really don't have any kind of a mechanism to say what that would be. You can't just say automatically how far back. You don't know what people are using for water, what's been done.
Yeah,
There's
that's
no
what I said.
real way to do
Oh, a lot
anything
of
like
the
that
people aren't
anyway.
even there anymore. A lot of people moved. They sold their units and moved out. You know what I mean? So the people that you'd be refunded to,
But not
They're
the
gone.
ones that pay the bills.
yeah, there is.
So do we know what unit numbers up there, Wayne, still
Yeah,
is?
I'll look back through. I have all the notes on it.
Can you two communicate and get this solved? Get
All right, let's try to get the last 2
You
in.
can call me, it won't matter.
Yeah.
I know you have Myers information, and she's a pretty proactive trustee.
I've got it written down, Unit 1.
You want my number, or are you just gonna still have it?
Take
No,
his
we'll
number
stop
and
in.
call him. Let's
That
get
way,
that.
take his-
in
take his
10
number.
years, at least one of us not gonna be able to do it.
Take his number to
Wait,
me.
maybe you can meet Eric here, go look at this situation, let's get it straightened out, get a plumber in
We
there.
talk to Myra tomorrow, because we have a meeting about some other stuff, but I know there's drainage issues and some other
Yeah,
stuff.
let's get it straightened out. This is-
Yeah, because when they were in there was something to do with the drain. I remember our guys talking about it when they came.
Sorry, in the courtyard, everything else. Alright, so I get done with that.
Thanks for coming in, Eric.
I think you kind of need work on communication skills. I don't want to be offensive or anything, but you can, okay. Alright, thank you, sir.
All right, thank you.
All right, get that plumber up there.
Alright.
All right. So what else we have?
So one last thing, Fisher Hashem is moving around again, inquiring about running his water main,
Scotland Street?
Scotland Street. He's making it through his permitting. He's hung up in the permitting for his waste treatment, which I think now just comes down to the design. I think he feels he's going to make it pass, so he's inquiring about it. Part of his permit was to extend the water main, but he only wants to extend it as far as the houses on one side, because that's what he was told to run services in, and I've asked him to extend it past
All right,
the
so
last house.
he only wants to run it.
Yeah, I wish I turned on the laptop.
Oh,
So the houses on the,
I was part of that when we approved.
Right.
So,
because he was told that he needed, part of his permit was to run it past the houses on the left side
yeah.
and put curb stops into their yards.
Just
to
the
their
curb
right
side.
Yep,
Was it?
and that's it.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with the houses on the right side at all.
I think you're right.
So
I
he
think that
kept
was the-
squawking about the 100-foot buffer, and when we brought it up,
Okay, but you know what?
extend as
Who
far
was
as
talking about 100 foot?
Fisher, because he said then it would require going before the Conservation
To
Commission.
run the water main up?
Yeah, if you get near the 100-foot buffer. I'm just repeating what I heard from him, but when we looked at the map, he's not going to be near that to extend past the last house on the right. Which
So
would
you-
then allow us to tie in anybody up there who wanted to.
So what
got
you're
the
saying is
five-
get him to go a little further past.
Yes, go
How
past
many
the
more
cover.
feet we talking?
I think it's like another 500.
Oh, it's that much?
Yeah.
From the last
It is?
one, the last
I
one, the
believe so,
houses
I
on the
can't.
left? That didn't seem like it could be that far.
There is a great distance because there's one house that's, it's
Oh, there's a space.
Yeah, there's like 4 more houses further down on the right side. I
Any
believe,
past the
yeah.
last one on the left?
Yeah,
I thought there was just 2.
no, I believe there's 4.
Can we bring it up easy?
No, I can't because we'd have to wait for the laptop. I can start it up.
So what's he looking for?
So he may or may not, so he's just beginning discussions, but I've asked him to push past that last house on the right.
The thing is, he's already approved.
Right. So he doesn't
We
have
should have
to.
had comment on that back during the approval process.
Right, but I didn't hear back here that the town was forcing him to, if you're gonna extend the water main, you cover everybody on the street, you don't just cover the 4 houses on this side. And that's what
It was,
pretty much
that
happened.
was just something we got out of him to do.
Right, because in the
It wasn't
end,
really required, but we just got that, I forget how we even come up with that.
Now, is he
The problem
going?
is, we didn't, it would've been nice to have the build-out. that we
I don't
have
know,
now.
it looks like that's Scotland Street,
Yeah.
right there. Last
Is
house
he
to the
gonna,
left, that's all that's left.
gonna
in the
extend
right.
it?
There's no other houses past that one.
That's a
Right.
wall comes out. Is he gonna extend it?
Yeah, so that's not 500 feet.
it's not, it isn't, but it's more, then he kept talking about the 100, but he was wrong with the 100-foot.
That's a 12-inch main. Is he extending with a 12?
I told him he could probably get away with an 8, because there's nothing ever gonna be on the other end of it.
Right, so what I was thinking, if you tell him instead of using a 12, reduce it down to an 8, he might go more feet if he could buy a small pipe, because we really don't want a 12-inch pipe going down a dead ending, because you're gonna have stagnant water, more stagnant water on a 12 than you are on an 8. But you want an 8.
Nowhere,
No, but
it's
it's,
better off
but
at the end
it's
stepping
only
down
2
smaller.
houses. So that can't be more than a couple hundred.
There's only
feet
2
wide.
houses, I think, right?
Yeah, I just looked at it on the map. The last house, because when they kept building on the
What
left,
if you went further and even stepped it down to a 4 there? It's never been
Nah.
done, right? Huh?
No.
no, on
So the
seven.
water-
No,
nothing less than
you
eight.
can't- I can't
One
put a
less than
hydrant
an
on the end.
Why?
Yeah.
We're gonna put a hydrant on the end,
Put
so
an
you
eight,
don't
put
wanna
a
be
fire
less than
hydrant
six.
on it.
Yeah.
You can
So you
do
can put a
it,
fire
but,
hydrant?
yeah, you don't put small pipe in like
No,
that anymore.
they don't even do that
They
anymore.
don't even want 6 in the ground.
I was just thinking so you don't get stagnant water. So you're using the water. And
Yeah, but that's.
You
gonna
put
be
a
cement-
hydrant right on the end, then you open it up.
I'll put a hydrant right before it steps down. But
Would be cement lined ductile anyway, but you wanna be able to flush that at the very end with the hydrant, have the hydrant right down at the base. But yeah, oh, see what it'll do.
Yeah,
Surprised me, but he thinks he's getting close on that wastewater plant.
yeah, he thinks he's, because now he's looking to get, he wants to get moving on things so he gets it out of the way. So because I also warned him that you guys are probably gonna want him to do the hydraulic study, which he didn't seem to have
well,
an
you're
issue
supposed to do. I don't think we.
I know, and I told him that he was supposed to do it, but the engineer backed out and never cashed the check.
Yeah, maybe we can
Returned
still
it to
make
him.
them do it. I don't know.
No, I think we can.
We can.
Yeah, well, he didn't seem against it.
Good.
All right, so we'll get our engineer.
That's going to be our bargaining chip. Then we'll see how that comes out.
Yeah, we'll talk to the engineer,
Yeah.
get a price, and we'll put the,
Good. All right.
So put the
That's
information
pretty
on it.
good down there.
And we'll
That
let
should
an
be
answer
pretty
like
good
that.
condition down there.
You know,
There's a lot
Yeah,
of work
right.
there.
Yeah.
All right,
Nice.
because most of that water is gonna cut down South Elm Street
Right.
through the 8-inch, because it's only 4, isn't there, on Lincoln?
Yes.
A 4. That
That's
is
something screwy where it goes down. What is it? 8 all the way down Scotland?
12.
12.
12 out in Scotland, but it's fed by an 8 on South Elm. They're supposed to be coming down Lincoln, it's supposed to be a 12. That's where they were gonna put the 12, but there's only a 4 there still. And the 12 was left off on West Street, right across the street from the Village Barn, you know where West Street comes out
Yeah.
on 106? There's a 12 dead-ended right there. And then it's supposed to come out on a 106, take a right, go up in front of Dempsey's Village Barn, and then take a left on Lincoln Street and go down and tie into the 12 down there.
If they ever rebuild 106.
And that 12 goes down West Street and goes into the 16
Yeah. No.
Okay. Yep. On Crescent.
on Crescent, correct. But it was
See
capped
what
off.
we-
And
yeah. Let's get that study done. That'd be good if
Yeah.
we could have him do that still. He was supposed to do it. It never happened.
Right.
But what happened with his check? It got returned to him? Or?
Yeah, because we held it in the, whatchamacallit wouldn't take it, so we held it in the file and I think.
Yeah, that guy totally dropped the ball.
Who was?
Yeah, and he's recommended.
Rich
it.
Johnson.
Yeah, he's,
Rick from
Actually-
Amory?
So
yeah,
Amory?
yeah,
I went to school with him.
yeah, he's recommended.
You
it, so
what?
I didn't
I
know
went to
that.
school with him.
Yeah, he was supposed to do
Way
it. He
back.
just totally dropped the ball. Never went anywhere. Something,
I don't know whether he just had too much work and he should have said that up front.
And then I think I even called him and he, oh, yeah, I'll get on it.
Yeah.
Nothing ever happened.
yeah,
But now that we got that model, it's-
they're a small
Yeah,
operation.
I don't know
Yeah.
what happened.
And they're also, they got a lot of stuff going on. They're trying to engineer the seawall down there in Duxbury. And they're not seawall engineers.
No, I was gonna say, I actually was, I almost wanted to work for them way back when it was Walter Amory.
Yeah. Is he still alive?
I don't know. I'd be kind of surprised, but.
Yeah, he's pretty old. That's why I asked. I haven't seen him in years.
No, he was a nice guy.
Yeah, he was a real nice guy, very knowledgeable, but he was mainly water,
Yeah.
almost all water. But now they're trying to do other things, and I think they're just so busy. When you get into learning new fields, you start new stuff, it takes a lot of time. Anybody got anything else you want to discuss tonight?
Nope.
I have a question. The next meeting
Yep.
would be July 1st, but that's the week, I don't know if you guys are gonna meet that day,
Doesn't matter to me.
the 4th, the week of the 4th?
I think it's 4th is on Thursday?
Thursday.
Correct. That Monday is July 1st or Monday, July 8th. Which,
I think I'm fine with the first anyway.
I'm fine with the
Yeah,
first.
I'm not going anywhere, so.
Okay.
Do it the first.
So the next meeting will be the first?
Okay.
We got any feedback?
And then the next one after that, we'll do one.
Notices to go online.
Sorry, I don't.
Yeah, I mean, one week hand dropped off the thing, but for the most part, no, just people looking for the physical copies, but really, no complaints. So I'm still trying to meet the good faith.
I got the same notice for the Duxbury water.
Yeah.
The same thing that we sent out.
Yeah.
Well, it makes sense.
Right.
Because you do get so many people just taking it, throw it away.
It'll be
Well,
first
they
and
require so
15th.
much more information. This way, I can have
For
42
July.
pages in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's the first and the third.
Okay.
And I was just wondering if you start getting a lot of calls. What are we doing here now? What's going on?
Right. It's a cost saving.
Yeah.
Anybody's asked, it's a cost savings.
All right. Do I hear a motion to adjourn? The next
Motion.
meeting's gonna be on July
On the
1st.
first still, right? Yep. Yeah, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
6:19 p.m.
Aye.
Aye.